Hey, what's going on, guys? I wanted to make a quick video with some tips and some things to think about in regards to health and well-being of a web developer or a computer programmer, or basically anybody that sits at a desk all day and looks at a computer screen. All right, a lot of people, including programmers themselves, don't realize that this line of work actually does take a toll on you, both physically and mentally. I've been programming for years, and I just recently found out about many of those tolls from experience. So I'm going to go over what I've learned throughout the years and hopefully help some of you guys that are new to programming, not just programming, but like I said, anyone that sits in front of a computer screen all day, designers, administrators, even secretaries, anyone that is in a profession like that. So one important thing to do is to take care of your body. Yes, we have a profession where sometimes we may barely move all day, but that actually can take more of a toll than a lot of physical jobs. And one of the reasons for that is lack of exercise. A lot of people in programming are overweight, and that's a given because we sit 8, 10, sometimes 12 plus hours per day. So make sure that you get some exercise. I'm not saying you have to work out twice a day and be all hardcore, but a few times per week at the very least, just take a walk or go for a jog, get your blood flowing. I would suggest joining a gym as well. Okay, in addition to exercise, you want to eat healthy and stay hydrated. This is generally for anybody, no matter what your profession. But I notice that when I'm in a zone and I'm programming, I either forget to eat because time just flies by without me realizing it, or I just don't want to get up because I'm on a roll and I feel like if I get up, it's gonna break that focus. All right, so and then there's people that just constantly eat while they work, and unfortunately, it's usually junk food that you eat at a computer, stuff like chips and cookies and crap like that, because it's much harder to eat a plate with vegetables on it than a bag of chips. So plan your meals and make sure you stop working to eat them. All right. Also, make sure that you remember to drink water. I always try to have a bottle of water next to me, even if I'm drinking something else like coffee, which I should cut down on as well. But a lot of programmers drink lots of coffee because it helps them basically stay awake and stay focused. All right, so this next one is incredibly important. You want to make sure that you take breaks to stand up and stretch your legs. A lot of people are saying that sitting is the new smoking. 30, 40 years ago, people didn't know how bad cigarettes were. And it's the same with sitting now. More people have jobs where they're sitting at a computer all day, and we're finding out that it can do really nasty things to your body. It can give you back pain, spinal issues, heart issues. In fact, when you sit down, your blood flow is slower and your muscles burn less fat, which makes it easier for those fatty acids to get to your heart. All right, and there's a ton of problems that can be caused from sitting all day. If you can afford it, I would suggest getting either a standing desk, or even better, get a desk that can do both. I just recently bought an uplift desk about a month ago, and it was one of the best purchases that I've ever made. My back hurts less, and I just feel better in general. Okay, so you want to make sure that you take pretty recent breaks, at least one an hour, just to stretch your legs, even if it's for a couple minutes. All right, so this next one is important for anybody. You want to make sure that you get plenty of sleep. So programmers use their mind at full speed for hours every day. If you're dead tired, you can't think straight. Okay, if you try writing code on 2 hours of sleep, which I've done, it's incredibly difficult and annoying because you can't figure out the stupidest little things. Then you sleep well the next night and go back to it, and you solve it in a few minutes. All right, sleep can make a huge difference. It's recommended that you get at least 6 hours of sleep. 8 is better, of course. This is one issue that I struggle with. Sometimes I won't fall asleep till after midnight, and then I'll wake up at 5 a.m. I do YouTube stuff in the morning, and then my courses for my job during the day. So I need to fit a lot of work in one day. So I need all the hours I can get. But if I don't get enough sleep, I lag behind anyway. So it can be tough to balance. All right, and then this last one is to take care of your eyes. Okay, there's actually something called computer vision syndrome that can do some bad crap to your eyes. So one thing that's suggested is every 20 minutes to look at something else for around 60 seconds or so, and give your eyes a little break from the screen. Also, make sure that you go to the eye doctor often, every couple years at least. And if you wear glasses or contacts, to always have those in. You don't want to be straining your eyes. All right, so those are tips for your body. Now let's talk about your mind. So first of all, you want to declutter your mind. If you're thinking of other things while programming, you're not going to be able to solve tough problems. Things will keep distracting you in your mind. So you want to take some time and just think about the issues that you're having in your life. And of course, everyone's different, and people solve their issues in different ways. But generally, just try to figure out ways to stop them or to make them better, so that you can have complete focus on your code. All right, I know it's easier said than done, just like a lot of this stuff. Just really try to make an effort to resolve any issues you have that's bothering you. One good way to do that is through meditation or even yoga. When you meditate, it clears your mind from stressful things. You can feel completely rejuvenated after you meditate. I've never done yoga, but I hear it does help both physically and mentally. And then if you don't know how to meditate, you can just do a few YouTube searches. There's plenty of resources out there that'll show you different techniques and different ways to meditate. All right, so you also want to try to stay calm. I myself have issues with anxiety, and if something's stressing me out, I can't focus on anything. So I try to stay calm, try to stay relaxed, and in a decent mood all day. And you don't want to let little things get to you. And again, meditation can also help with this. All right, this next one is another one that I personally struggle with. A lot of us sit by ourselves for hours per day programming, and that can take a toll on your mind as well. Not socializing can really put you into kind of an introverted state, where sometimes you don't even feel like you're part of the rest of the world. Especially for people like me, because I work at home in my basement, which sometimes starts to feel like a dungeon or a prison. I'm grateful that I have a wife and kids that I can go upstairs and hang out with, because if I lived alone, I'd probably be a hermit. So try and keep in contact with your family and your friends and talk to them, even if it's just small talk. Don't become a hermit. And if you suffer from depression or anxiety, make sure you get some help for that, whether it's a counselor or a therapist, medication, whatever it is that you need to make sure that you're okay. All right, so you also want to create the right environment to work in, to do your code or your design or whatever it is that you do for hours on end. You want to keep your work area neat and clutter-free. Clutter can cause stress and distraction. At least for me, I need my area spotless. The rest of the house will be a mess, and my office is always immaculate. All right, you also want somewhere to work that's quiet and peaceful and away from any distractions. If you work from home and you have kids like I do, make your work area away from where they play, because kids yelling and screaming makes it almost impossible to focus on coding. All right, so you also want to keep a lot of natural light in your office if that's possible. It's actually not for me because, like I said, my office is in my finished basement. All I have is a sliding glass door, and even out there it's under a porch, so that's another reason that it's like a dungeon. But natural light can keep you in a better mood and just give you an overall calming vibe in your office. All right, so this next one works for some people, and for some people, such as myself, it's more of a distraction. But some do find that listening to background music helps them focus. I like it silent, but I would guess that either calming soft music can help relax people to get in the zone. You probably don't want to listen to heavy metal or hardcore rap or anything like that. I can't imagine that helping anyone focus. All right, and then you also want to be comfortable while you're working. And this kind of ties into your environment. Okay, you want to stay comfortable while you work. Having good posture is important, and this could have just as well been in the how to take care of your body section. You can do some bad shit to your back if you slouch all day and you have bad posture. So you want to stay sitting up straight, keep your feet on the floor, and try to keep your head straight. All right, one good thing that helps with posture is getting a really nice chair. Chairs can get quite expensive, but think about how long you're in that chair every day. All right, it's probably where you spend most of your life if you're like me. So a good chair is worth the money. I like gaming style chairs. The DX Racer chairs are both comfortable and they look pretty nice, but they are kind of expensive. And then you have even more expensive chairs like Herman Miller's, which are incredibly good for your posture and for your back, but they do run, over $1,000. But do some research and get a nice chair. It's well worth it. All right. In addition to your chair, make sure that you have the right desk and your monitors are positioned well. Like I said earlier, if you can afford a sit and stand desk, I definitely suggest that. Uplift makes some awesome custom desks. They are kind of expensive. The one that I got, I think, was around $750. I actually plan on doing a video on it as well. If you have multiple monitors like I do, make sure that they're in the right spot where you don't have to keep, well, you do have to turn your head, but try to limit that. And if you only have 2 monitors, don't make it so that you have to turn your head left or right. Put one directly in front of you and then one off to the side. I personally have never understood positioning them so that you stare right at the bezels where they connect if you face front. All right, and then you might want to look into an ergonomic keyboard. Okay, using the wrong keyboard day after day can give you carpal tunnel, muscle strain, and some other issues. All right, there's all types of ergonomic keyboards out there. There's split keyboards, contoured, angled keyboards, so you may want to look into those as well. All right, now my last piece of advice is to do other things aside from programming. All right, time flies when writing code, and sometimes it just seems like the day just disappears. All right, you don't want to grow old and realize that you spent 80% of your time, 80% of your life staring at a computer screen. All right, most of us who code love it. If you don't, you probably should be doing something else. But when you love something, it's easy to do too much of it. Okay, so for me, the most important thing is my family. So make sure that you take the time to spend with your family and friends. Even if you're just sitting and talking, you don't have to spend money and go out and do things. Just sit and talk, play with your kids, create some memories. And then if you do have the money to go out and do things, go on a vacation. Even if it's just to the hotel down the street, go somewhere where, go somewhere with the people or the person that you love, and don't take your laptop and don't do work or write code while you're there. Leave the electronics at home and enjoy just being out and not having to use your mind at full speed like you do every day when you're writing code. All right, you should also find another passion, preferably non-tech related, whether it's collecting something or playing a sport, working on cars, whatever it may be, something that helps you escape and do something aside from writing code or building websites or whatever it is. Okay, you should also try and read, and I'd suggest reading non-tech related books just to get your mind in another space. And I'd also suggest not reading it on an iPad or a tablet, but an actual physical book. All right, and again, preferably not tech related. Give your mind a break from that stuff for a little while. All right, guys, so I'm going to wrap this up. I hope this video helps somebody, even if it's just a very small change, a small life change to better themselves and their health, then that would be great. And don't worry, more tech videos are on the way. Until then, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.